Yeah, I agree. And I think the main character syndrome thing is true. And I think that it's a problem because like people like me spend my 20s, my youth, my prime trying to get that degree and become all these things that truly once you get to that point, you get to 30, you get to 35, you really start to see the value in tradition and gender roles, and that's not to say like ladies like we're not equal and da 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 and all these things and we don't need an education or anything like that, but you'd really start to see that there's a switch where it becomes such a disadvantage, and all of a sudden everyone's like, but you're a great catch, you're smart, you're this, you're that, you're everything, you're da 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 da, you'd be a good mother, you'd be good, and
they lie to you.
They're like, I want that 20-year-old
lose some weight.
Yeah, well, that too, but they're like, I want that 20-year-old.
Well, these are girls that probably told this. These are women that told you this? And men too?
In general, I think in society's views, like, we say like, you know, I spent like, for someone like me, like I spent my 20s like trying to do these things that society kind of teaches us.
Go to school, date around, have fun.
Are valuable, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you get to this point and you're like, no, I should have taken my high school sweetheart more serious or been more
Let me ask you a
focused
question
on,
real quick.
you know,
Knowing what you know now, if you took that knowledge and I told you, you know what, we're going to fucking push the clock back 15 years. Knowing what you knew now, would you give up the degree? Would you take this knowledge that you have and would you go back and find your dream man?
Yes.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and I really appreciate you being honest about that.
I'm being honest.
Because when I've asked girls this, most of the time they do say they would turn the clock back.
Hold on.
They would?
What are you willing to give?
They would.
Real quick though. Right now, right? You're single.
Yeah.
Poly by choice, right?
Yes.
Wink, wink. No, but like.
What does that mean? Cap?
Stop the cap.
I was just kidding about that part.
Watch period.
What would you give up for a man right now? Like, let's say for example, you're into him, he liked you as well.
For like my dream guy.
Dream guy. What would you give up?
Everything.
Your social media, your job. What would you give up for your man right now?
Well, she gave up everything. She said she would turn the clock back 15 years.
Like, what wouldn't I give up? And that would be a better question. What wouldn't I give up?
Instagram.
Like I'm saying, like if you lost education, and job, everything, you went back to 20 years old, fresh out of high school,
if the guy was like, if I met my dream guy and he was like, but I don't want you to be a paralegal, I want you at home, I'd give it up. If he was like, I don't want you on social media, I don't value that, I'd give it up. That's real.
Yeah.
Has anyone in the past ever asked you that before to give up stuff that you didn't want to give up?
No, because I feel like, again, like we've been groomed into this society of like where I'm an independent female,
she was
or
she was
you know,
like,
the
whatever,
guy
nigga.
doesn't want to take that leadership role to say, I don't want I value these things and I want my woman to be this. The guys almost, not to be like sus, but like the guys kind of take this like simp role where they're like, like we're all just stuck in a really weird place, but it's
I think people are
destroying society.
scared to be honest, and obviously what I just said, right? A lot of women this is why a lot of women get angry and fight with me on the show, literally from what I just told you guys, right? You guys have been very calm and well receiving of it, but a lot of women get angry and they call me a misogynist, an asshole, a sexist, blah blah blah.
Because they've spent their life working towards these things.
You're right.
That's everything in their parents, their schooling, their generation, their society, social media, Instagram, everything has told them, be an independent female, go to school, get a degree, get a college. That's what's going to make a man want you. And then you get there and you're like, why doesn't nobody want me? I have all these things. I'm educated. I'm smart. Why does he want a 20-year-old bimbo that has a BBL and is that?
And it's crazy.
But that's what
you
they
do
want.
all that work and you're like, okay, he's going to appear tomorrow like this.
Reals.
But he never shows up.
Yeah.
Or
Because
even
now
stays.
you're in your mid-30s and you're competition. And maybe you make more money than him. Maybe you're more educated than him. You're not on the same level. And even you're kind of, there's so many times I go on dates and stuff. Yeah, he's great, but I know that we're unequally yoked.
And I think that's the difference between like,
and I'm in a lane of my own.
And that's tough because like when a girl goes on a date with a guy, right, and she's like, okay, I'm smarter than this guy, I make more money than this guy. Like you guys lose attraction. You guys are like, oh my god,
and it's crazy. That's weird to think.
Right, but like us, we're not like that. Like we can go on a date with a girl that's 19.
Yep.
She's not smart at all. She'll be like, oh well, I haven't really done much. I just live with my parents. Blah blah.
What do you have?
She's a 10.
A guy will be excited. He'll be like, okay, I can take you.
Low body count.
Here. Yeah.
Lots of years.
There you go. That's
Value.
how men think. Yeah.
And if I could go back and understand the value in those things, I would have dated around more. I would have not, like, I feel like girls too, like.
Did you waste your time on like one guy or
That's
something?
the thing.
That
We
was a
date
loser?
somebody and we date them for 3 years. Then we date the
Okay.
next person. And even while you're talking to somebody, as soon as we start, ladies, like, as soon as we start the single ladies, you start to talk to somebody, whatever, it's like we zone out everybody else.
Okay.
We really do.
So were some of those guys like I guess losers, and you gave them too much time?
Or maybe not
And you thought you could
losers,
fix them?
but maybe I passed on winners. So maybe they weren't
okay.
necessarily losers,
Okay.
but they weren't necessarily. I passed on soulmates, tens, high value men, this and that, trying to let me finish my education first before I have kids. Let me date
All
around.
right.
I don't want to marry my high school. I only dated two guys. All
yeah.
these things society tells you to
You got
do.
FOMO.
I also-
You're missing out.
And then
Yeah.
you're 35 years old and you're like, okay, what do I have to, like you said, you might still be able to be attractive, be this, and get a good quality person, but you're going to sacrifice somewhere. They might have kids. They might not make as much money. They might,
Be ugly.
they might be 5'10".
Yeah.
No disrespect.
Yeah, under 6 foot. Yeah.
Hey, how tall are you?
5'6". Or
there you
no,
go.
know,
Something.
not to be crass, but
You're gonna have to give something up, is what it is, right? Like women in their
Or-
30s can find a man, but this is the problem. You know, once you're in your 30s as a woman, right? You got some experience. You've dealt with men that make money. You've dealt with men that are good looking. You've dealt with men that have the Lambos. You've dealt with men that are top of the line. And it's very difficult to go backwards. That's what I've noticed with girls. If they date a guy that was a multimillionaire before, it is so tough to go to a guy making 100K per year. Because girls tend to be, well, I can do this. I've reached this before. Why the fuck am I settling? So women tend to look at their past relationships as like a barometer of where they can kind of go in the future. But they don't realize that as time passes, it's harder to make that back. So I think the biggest thing I tell girls in their 30s is like, you just pick 2 or 3 really good traits that are non-negotiables. Like maybe he's like, if money's your biggest thing, be content with getting a guy that has money that's ugly or fat. If good looks is your thing, be content with a guy that's gonna have. You might have to work a full-time job. If you want to get as charismatic and charming and loving, be content with the fact that he might not be the best looking and he might make some money here or there, but you're just gonna have to deal with it. So,
or you'll have to. If you're not,
Yeah.
you're gonna sacrifice something of yourself as well. That's something like how we were
Yes.
saying before.
Yeah.
So not only do I have to realize that I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to accept somebody with kids or this or something like
Yeah.
that, but I might also have to sacrifice and become a mom or
Yeah.
become,
Yeah.
you know, give
Stepmom.
up my career or become a stepmom
Or be content with knowing that it's not length and girth, length or girth. You know.
that part. So you know, you gotta. It's just sad. It's a weird place. Yeah. I don't know. Doomed is a tragic word.
No, I
but-
don't want to say. I'm not gonna say doomed. I'm gonna say doomed to find
let's
your
keep it
dream
real,
man.
though.
It's
Yeah,
not. You're doomed to find your dream man, but you can still find a good man. And I think that's where girls like think like, oh, but he's boring.
But you gotta settle though.
Well, hey man, he's not the best looking guy, but he probably won't cheat on you.
Yeah, that's that materialist. Yeah,
for real,
those are
that's
like
the social media.
materialistic.
You're doing
Those are
strip club, but you won't find
materialistic
out.
aspects.
Yeah, or
of
he'll
it.
pay a hooker on Sundays
Yeah,
3 times a year.
You won't
Who
find
knows?
out, but
yeah, I mean,
Or
yo,
stay alone and keep searching, and next thing you know, you're like, I'm 35.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Okay, you seem pretty with a good head on your shoulders. What would you advise the young women here?
Good head.
Yeah, we got some girls here that are
Very
18
good
that are
head.
like literally just beginning their lives. What advice would you give them, knowing what you know now and having this discussion?
I would say don't be so afraid to embrace. Like society has kind of, and I'm not like a super. I'm a very pro women. Get your education, get your money, take care of yourself, all of those things. But I feel like one major mistake that I made along the way was putting my value in my education, putting my value, and not to say those things are invaluable, but if I would have had the self-worth that I had now, then I didn't, you know, and I sat there and I kept thinking, but when I
look at her. Yeah, tell her.
when I find a husband, when I find a husband, when I get an education, when I lose the weight, when I when I become a lawyer, when I do all these things, I'll feel worthy. And I think if I would have had that self-worth then, I could have not been so afraid of being traditional. Like, it's almost like society has groomed us to feel like if we accept a traditional role that we have to negate our independence and we have to negate our education. And I would say my advice to you guys would be that you can have both of the things are valuable, and you don't have to put all your value and all of your time. Time is.
And you said you're from Buffalo, right?
I'm from Buffalo, New York.
Yeah. The Northeast is like literally like, dude. Then feminism and indoctrination and liberalism is huge in the Northeast. I grew up in Connecticut, so not too far from you. And you're right there on the border of Canada, which is even more woke. So, yeah, I mean, they push education in the Northeast crazy on everybody, you know. So, did anybody else have anything they want to add or say something to this discussion? I don't know. I think it's been a good discussion, but
It's been a great discussion.
It's been a great
Thank
discussion.
you.
I think you'll find someone.
anybody have anything?
100%.
No.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Chill show today.
Not beautiful.
What were you before?
Like heaviest that I ever was probably like 220.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're yeah, because 200 is huge, bro. I ain't gonna lie, you weigh more than me.
No, I weigh more than most men, and
Yeah.
I I get that. So I was scared,
We'll still fold you up though.
No, but that
wow.
being a certain weight doesn't mean you're not
general, bro,
beautiful. It
general.
doesn't mean you're not attractive.
like,
it doesn't
black
mean
niggas
nobody,
first.
you know.
I'm just
What
saying
was that answer?
niggas will still fold her up.
Yeah, like-
Okay. I'm still gonna fold her up.
No.
I thought you were saying that.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, I could.
Yeah.
But, you know, she don't want me though.
Yeah. She can't handle you.
She can't handle me, nigga.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you're fresh as.
I was scared.
Like, yeah.
I was scared, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I have a thick skin,
I know.
and I thought that it was. I think that what you guys are doing here is more valuable than my fear.
Wow.
So I felt like it was good to, and I thought that I could give. I knew I was going to be the only one in my 30s. I knew I was going to be
You
the
got someone
biggest.
else next to you.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. You're right. But no, I knew I was going to probably be the oldest or up there. I knew I was probably going to be the biggest. And so I also thought I was going to be the realest and the smartest, and I think I was those things too.
What you trying to say?
Not that y'all are not smarter.
dissed
Not
all
that,
y'all.
no, it's not this.
dissed
I was
all
just
y'all.
just like I can say someone is healthier or
I was just about to say you're
Me
insecure if you
personally,
took that
I wouldn't
offensively.
take that
If you were
disrespect.
up here, you
I
were
would
like,
take that. I wouldn't take that.
yeah.
Ladies, y'all
Well,
gonna take that?
I do want to.
Absolutely, because if she feels like that, you got go ahead, baby.
Me
Feel great.
personally,
But I
would
thank
take
you
that.
guys, and I
No,
appreciate
and
the
I want to
experience.
give you, because normally, it becomes very contentious when I deal with women that meet your demographics, and the fact that you came on here with an open mind and you wanted to listen to what I had to say, and you gave some really good reflections, and I think some advice that some of the younger ladies here might be able to take to heart. I think that's very valuable, and I really appreciate you being a good sport. And I wish you the best in your weight loss journey. Keep going. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can,
thank you.
with that mindset, you
That's
can
good.
obviously see. I make fun of fat people all the time, but I'm not going to roast someone that's like actually working towards it and takes accountability. No, I am fat. I'm going to lose the weight. So, fucking.
Good
respect.
job.
I wish most women had that mindset.
This is my
Most of them get
genetics,
angry.
and
I'm not fat, nigga. And
they
they stand
eat.
up and start shaking their ass, and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go.
I wouldn't say I'm not fat, but the difference I think is that I wouldn't say I'm not beautiful. I wouldn't say I'm not pretty. I wouldn't say I'm not attractive, or that certain people wouldn't find. To certain people, I'm not fat. So I don't think
but
that
those aren't
things,
the men that you want.
But no,
Yeah.
and that
Those
people
aren't-
use they
yeah.
use those to not get
on.
healthy, to not.
Yeah.
They say, "Well, I'm beautiful." No one said you're
And the
not
thing
beautiful.
is, yeah,
Right.
you got to
Don't go too
also
far, though.
keep in mind that, like, at
go too
35, to compete with these
I'm
20-year-olds.
beautiful to myself.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't go too
man.
far, though.
Do not
But-
wear hoop earrings, man.
Sick of Chris. Can we give, like, some real fucking.
All right, fine.
All right, go.
Help her out a little bit.
All right,
assholes.
all right,
Don't
yeah,
cut your
yeah.
hair.
Yeah, like it
I
is.
am though, man.
Keep your hair long.
Keep your hair
Lose the weight, and I'll tell you this, because at 35 you're going to be competing with women in their 20s, and that's where you're going to you're going to have to just be in way better shape than them. Because I'll give you this, a lot of these 20-year-old chicks are out of fucking shape and they're fat. So hey, man,
Yeah.
because I know girls in their 30s that get in shape and look good. So
Yeah.
hey. And don't listen to your friends. You look good. Keep eating. Come
on,
Fuck
Queen.
those bitches. They're lying to you. One thing I've noticed, bro, girls give each other self-sabotaging advice.
Dog
You
shit
look
advice.
fine. You don't need to go to the gym. Eat a hamburger. It's a fucking lie. They want you to look worse because they get jealous and they don't want you to be competitive against them. I've noticed that girls are so self-sabotaging when it comes to that. They give each other the most destructive advice
purpose.
when it comes to their looks and when it comes to men. Why are you with him? He's an asshole. He's a misogynist. Why are you eating
And they do it on-
salad?
they do it on purpose.
Live a little girl. Eat a burger. Don't listen to none of that fucking bullshit. Go to the gym and don't look like them. Fuck those whores. Anyway,
facts.
you have anything else you want to say?
I'm just really grateful for the opportunity. I thought this was really good, cool.
Thank you for being a
experience.
good
Hell
sport. I really appreciate it. I know it's tough to come on a podcast like this when
yeah.
you're
for coming.
It was hard.
all right.